On today's Chasing the Game, we have Anthony Wayne girls head basketball coach Jami Carter. We're talking about her career, the general success the last few seasons, and take a look at this year's tournament run. Chasing the Game starts right now. Welcome into Chasing the Game. I'm here with Anthony Wayne head girls basketball coach Jami Carter. Jami, thank you so much for being here. We've been trying to get this going for a while now. It's so good to have you in finally. This is year, what, 7 for you now at Anthony Wayne?
Yes, year 7.
So just in those 7 years, I mean, how have you kind of seen the program sort of change under your leadership? I imagine you said before we started, it's felt like a lot longer than 7.
Yes, it definitely has felt a lot longer than 7. Part of that is because I've been a part of the program for quite a few years prior to being the head coach. You know, I think what we did in these past 7 years is we've taken a little bit of what the program was before and built on that, starting with the youth, but then also having the talent that we have and having them with us for so many years has helped with the progression of where we are right now. Yeah,
you've been with Anthony Wayne for, what, 25 years now. You've been an assistant under different coaches, under Zemansky, under Terwilliger, these Anthony Wayne girls coaches. What has that been like to kind of see the district evolve the way it has? Obviously, things have changed a lot between when I was going to school there, when you started there, to where it is now. How have you kind of seen it change?
Well, you know, I'm a big believer in you learn from experiences and you learn from different people. So I learned a ton from both Coach Zemansky and Coach Terwilliger, being able to coach underneath them. It took a little bit of something from each of them and applied it to, you know, what we do today. Our staff also plays a huge role in the progression of our program. Coach Jay Gass being our assistant, and then Coach Kuharchek and Coach Minert as well. And not to mention that we have some phenomenal junior high coaches. Coach Terwilliger actually is a part of our junior high, and then we really took a deep dive when we took over the program 7 years ago into our youth program, and really tried to immerse ourselves and our players. Our players are strongly immersed in our youth program as well.
Was that always kind of the vision, the philosophy for this program? Is you wanted to have something that, you know, started, you know, at the very, like, you know, youth level and kind of develop those kids all the way up. So you have your radar on people, you know, when they're, I'm sure, little, and then you kind of know who they are by the time they get to 7th, 8th grade. Was that always kind of, you know, something that you're like, I want the program to be that?
Absolutely. We believe that relationships are huge, especially with growing and developing them over the course of kids' part in our program, and their longevity in our program. So, you know, we really try to get to know the kids as young as what we can, so that they can get to know us and we can build that relationship. So by the time that they're seniors, you know, it's like anything else. So we take great pride in that and spend a lot of time with those kids, or as much time as what we can with the season and what it allows.
Yeah, Jay Gast, you mentioned him, you know, assistant on, he's like, you know, your right-hand man. I mean, he's been awesome for this program. How long has he been with you the whole time now, or when did he join for you guys?
He joined the year after I took over, so he's been with us for 6 years, and he's irreplaceable. You know, just with his relationship that he has with the girls, and then also what he brings to us offensively, and just you know, he is my right-hand man.
Yeah, I mean, it's so awesome. Could you have imagined, you know, however many years ago when you started, that you would have the success that you guys are having now, that you would be kind of, you know, on this incredible NLL run, that you guys have won however many games, you know, however many years in a row, that you guys have had these tournament runs that you've had? Could you have imagined that 5 years ago?
That was the vision, but I wouldn't say I would imagine that. It's something that the girls have really developed along with us, but you know, their talent and just their will to win, and also their mental makeup, has a really, really important part and piece to how successful we are.
Yeah, the Benders are obviously a huge component of that. It's the thing that people talk about all the time, is these Bender twins. You know, Elise has obviously been fantastic. Brooke is terrific. Did you always know who they were? Did you know, coming in that they were going to be special? Tell me about, how long have you known about them?
We've known about them for quite a while. I want to say around the 4th grade. Around when they were in the 4th grade, then they played in our youth program in the 6th grade, but then also played some travel. But yes, we knew that they and that group of girls were special, and that we could start to build around not only their talent, but again, their work ethic, what they bring to the table mentally, but they're also really, really, really good kids and young adults at this point, because continue to forget that they're growing, and they're fun to be around. It's just, I really can't say enough about them because it's just really hard to put into words the value that they have for our program, but then what special kids they are as well.
Yeah, Elise was actually named a finalist for Ohio Miss Basketball this year. I think it was the second year in a row now that she's been named a finalist. We actually made her our Athlete of the Week in February of last year, so we have that package. I think let's roll that. We'll take a look at Elise Bender, our Athlete of the Week in February of 2024.
It's fun to watch.
Anytime the Lady Generals are in action, number 12 is setting the bar.
Having the ability to shoot and drive has been very difficult to guard, so I really try to key on that.
Elevating her game on the perimeter, Elise Bender has become a walking bucket from anywhere on the court.
And we knew she'd hit her stride, and this is where we saw her finishing strong with the regular season.
A campaign that not only tied a school record for most points in a game, but also broke the program's all-time scoring mark. This week alone, the junior phenom earned District 7 and NLL Player of the Year.
It's very exciting, but I could not have done it without my team. They give me the ball, I get them the ball. They do really well getting us all open, and I could not have done it without them.
She tries to get other players involved as much as what she can, and sometimes she puts us on her back, and whatever we need her to do is what she does.
Bender's competitive drive assisting in her future as well, with 11 college offers, most of them in connection with her twin sister.
Yeah, it's been really fun, especially with Brooke, getting them together and being able to have the opportunity to go together has been really fun. But also during this league season, it's very cool to be able to still get offers while playing with my high school team.
Looking ahead is not always beneficial. Yet, in White House, it's become pivotal toward establishing a new era at Anthony Wayne.
We challenged them when they came in as freshmen to build a legacy and, to build an environment that the younger kids are going to want to be a part of.
I just want to keep progressing as an individual and as a team. I mean, we can only get better from here, so I'm just really excited for the years to come.
Elise Bender is our Athlete of the Week.
And so I hope that wasn't too weird to kind of watch yourself on TV. Elise has obviously gone on. We know what happened there. Elise and Brooke both committed to Villanova. They've been terrific. They've continued to elevate their game. They've gotten better. Are you surprised to kind of see them continually grow the way that they have, since that piece aired and just over the last season?
No, they've grown quite a bit in the last 2 years. And I would say that is a grown-up type of thing where, they take a lot of thought. They take their time when they're making decisions. They get the big picture. They think about even their decision to go to Villanova with many different angles. They're just very. Not only are they intelligent, but they put some thought in the process, in any process.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is, it'd be crazy enough if there were one set of twins that are doing really well on your team, and you at one point had 4 sets of twins, the Benders, the Hills, Pikes, Brennemans, Gabby Gibbons is a twin, although her brother's on the boys team. Do people just look at you sideways when you explain to them that you have this many sets of twins on one team? I mean, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I don't know if they believe us until they see it, and they still then kind of scratch their head. We also have an 8th grade set of twins as well, so we just keep getting more. But yeah, it's definitely a different dynamic and something that you really can't explain unless you live it. The parents would probably agree with me. It's special and it's unique. We try our best to handle it the best way that we can, but yes, it is definitely different.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, obviously, there's unique to coaching any group of kids, but the fact that you have twins, people talk about playing time, when it's just you by yourself. But if you have a twin sister, you got to worry about playing time and all these things. What's that like, trying to manage all the personalities and trying to give people playing time that you feel is kind of equitable to what they can contribute on the court? I mean, it's got to be hard, right, to try to manage all these kids and try to manage playing time and all these things. Tell me about that.
I would say that that's been one of the more challenging things for us this season because we're so talented, 1 through 10. One, with the twins, we really take it upon ourselves to treat them individually because they are individuals and they each have their own personality and they also each bring something different to our team and to their game. But I feel like we've done our best with trying to get everybody involved in what we're doing, given the fact that we have 10 very talented young ladies. And then also, talking to them about what their, not their roles, but what they can do in a game and how to approach the game. There's a lot to our program as far as, yeah, we're good, but we also have a lot of things that we hang our hat on, whether it be our passing game or our defensive game, and learning those types of things are super beneficial for the kids coming up. And you could see at the end of the season that they're starting to understand our principles and our philosophy, because the older kids, have taken them along with them. But those things are important to us because we want to continue to be successful and to build a program. And it's not just, yes, talent is great, but we have a lot of principles behind what we do as well.
Yeah, I introduced the world to all the twins on the team. We did that story last year, I believe.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at that story. The twins of Anthony Wayne girls basketball.
The Anthony Wayne girls basketball team is one of the best in the state of Ohio this year. The Generals return a ton of starters from last year and are looking to get back to state like they did in 22.
A strong core coming back and a good group of younger players that are joining them. Obviously a lot of sisters.
Not just sisters. The Generals have not one, not two, not three, but 4 sets of twins in the program. Freshmen Layla and Lauren Brenneman, sophomores Addison and Kennedy Hill, and Leah and Mallory Pike, and juniors Elise and Brooke Bender, making up almost half the roster.
It definitely helps having twins on the team because, you always know how to play with each other, and then we learn from other twins who know how to play with each other too. So it always just works out very well for us.
I feel like we know each other's first move or what they're gonna do next. And we connect with each other since we both are twins.
Having this many duos on the team can come with its own challenges.
Yeah. Yes. But it's definitely different than other teams, and that's what's unique about us. But I feel like we got used to it now, and it's not that different.
You guys are twins. I mean, is it weird having to see double like that on the court?
Yeah, some of them get us mixed up.
Yeah. Is that frustrating for you guys, or do you just sort of
I think it's funny.
But it also comes with its own rewards.
They're great kids, so we love to be around them. We have a lot of fun. They work hard. They're competitive. So it's every day in the gym with them is an experience.
Reporting in White House, Chase Bachman, WTOL 11.
So we were talking during that package about how much they've grown up since then. Just seeing, kids have gotten taller, kids have matured. How have you kind of seen them change in the last year and a half, year or so?
Well, they're maturing and they're growing, and they're becoming young ladies. Where when they come in as freshmen, they're still younger, little. But again, it goes back to that. You can see it on the outside, but it's the things on the inside that we see and we value. And what I'm most proud of is, it's their approach to the game. Again, how they mentally prepare. That's a huge thing you can see throughout the 4 years that starts to come along as they grow older. But it's crazy to see, and it's crazy to see double of some of that as well.
Yeah. The other thing I wanted to talk about, I did another story with you about the officiating class that you guys do at Anthony Wayne. This has been in the works for, how long have you guys had this class now? A couple of years?
I think this is our 4th year.
Yeah, and so for people who don't know, the officiating class, we'll run that tape in a second, but the officiating class teaches kids essentially how to be a referee, how to be an official for basketball, how to make calls, and these kids are 16, 17 years old, and they're going out and they're already officiating games after a few months of doing this. Do people kind of think that's kind of crazy that you guys get these kids at however old and they're already out officiating games, and there are some people who might say, this guy's in his 60s, he doesn't know what he's doing, as an officiant, and these guys are doing, really good work, I understand. Talk about the class and how you've kind of seen people come out of it, because the Benders are a couple of graduates of it, right, Brooke?
Yeah, Brooke was a part of, and so was Sophie Smith. They both took the course. We have some younger players this year who took the course as well. I'm a big believer, you've got to, if you see something, you've got to try to fix it. And one of those being the officiating crisis here in the state of Ohio. So we, as a staff, I'm a phys ed teacher, so as a staff, we came up with this officiating course. I want to say it's been 4 years, and it's taken off. It was, slow going that first year or two, but now that we've had some kids in that have started to put that into motion and starting to referee. The course has grown. I think it's actually doubled this past year. But these kids are learning, and what we want to do is give them an opportunity to earn some money doing something other than what your normal typical teenager would do, begging groceries or whatever it may be, working at a fast food restaurant. So this is one of those avenues, and they can kind of make their own time as well. They don't have to be 9 to 5 or whatever that may be, or after school. So they can make their own schedule. But what I'm most proud of is this is hopefully going to help with that referee shortage. I know that we ask a lot of the District 7 officials in the area to come in and help and to speak to our kids and start to develop that relationship with some of our better kids that are, like you said, officiating now, because we do have a lot of mentor District 7 referees in our area that are willing to help these kids out. So, we take advantage of that however we can.
Yeah, and as we've said, a couple of kids are already out there doing it. Obviously, it's a very important issue for people who care about sports in this area is, are we going to have enough officials to, be able to do games, whether it's football, basketball, or some of these other sports that are kind of lesser known or lesser looked at. So it really is very important. So I think with that, we'll roll our package on the officiating class, Jami Carter, that you've taught, and other schools are picking up as well. Let's take a look.
This past basketball season was one of the best in school history for head coach Jami Carter and the Generals. Her team went 23-3, won their 3rd straight conference championship by going undefeated in league play, and won another district title. But during the day, Carter teaches phys ed classes at the school. A few years ago, Carter and her other teachers came up with a course that was different from her other gym classes.
My colleague and I looked into how to make phys ed, our department, a little bit more employable for our kids, giving them an avenue to make some money.
Carter began offering a sports officiating class, a semester-long course that lets students learn the rules needed to ref games.
Our students are able to earn their OHSAA license for baseball and basketball through our course. They can start to officiate games as soon as they get their certification.
A few of Carter's students got certified in a couple of weeks and started reffing junior high basketball games.
I saw this class and I knew Coach Carter made the class for the students. It was always something that I thought was cool, and I just wanted to try it.
I've done almost 50 games. I've done a good bit.
It's just fun, I guess. I don't know. The way I explain it to people is it's very addicting. When you're just, calling fouls and stuff like that, I find it fun.
Carter says about 50 kids are taking the class this year. It's gotten so popular, other school districts are talking with Carter about offering it at their school.
With the shortage of officials, a lot of different districts are starting to ask questions about how we run our program.
Set aside that these kids are learning a practical skill and making money, they're also helping solve the sports officiating crisis.
There's been times where I've done youth events where I'd have to be the only official, and it's hard reffing basketball when there's only one official.
It's dire. What we need is younger students or younger adults starting to come in and start to officiate.
These kids will be the first to admit they're not perfect officials. Nobody is. But they're getting opportunities right away. And Carter thinks it could be one of the ways Ohio gets out of the ref shortage.
Well, that's our hope, and I also feel like it's our job to motivate these kids to find their passion, and I do believe that some of the kids in my class right now have found what they hopefully will make a career out of it.
And so we've seen a couple of other schools take that on. Tyler Stegerman did a story. Liberty Center has taken on officiating class. We've seen these other schools in the area do that. So it's just really cool to see. I hope you can take a little bit of credit. I know you're not a big, boastful person, but I hope you can take a little bit of credit in knowing that you're helping what is a serious issue for sports around here.
Thank you.
Yeah, look. this tournament run. I have to ask about this. You guys have obviously made history again. You're in the state Final Four for the second time in 4 years now. This was always the goal, I imagine, since you guys got there Bender's freshman year, in that incredible run. You guys made it to the state semifinals. You're back now. Is there a sense of satisfaction for getting back, or is it all full steam ahead? We're trying to get to a state championship. We're trying to win a state championship. Do you guys talk about it?
It's something that we've never had to talk about. We knew that was the goal, and we're not finished. There is no satisfaction right now. We know what the end goal result is, what we want, and that's a state championship. But we knew that, and so it wasn't something that we had to talk about on a daily basis. Our philosophy is just focus on what we do and be the best us and do everything the way that we do things, more so than focusing on the end result. We got to get to the end in order, and those small snippets of what we do is how we get to the end.
Yeah, one of the things we were talking about before we started was you guys, I just covered you guys the other Friday night. You guys played Hudson. You were down for the first time, I think, probably all season, unless maybe there was some other game like Purcell Marion maybe. There was like the first time you guys were down at halftime, and some of us on the side were wondering, how is Anthony Wayne going to respond to you guys being down? And you came out, and it was one of the best responses I had ever seen. You guys scored, I think, 16 straight points to open that second half. You came out, you ended up beating Hudson by 16. How important was that to have some adversity like that in the tournament and come out on top?
It was huge. And you're right, we haven't been down very often at halftime, just a handful of times. But what we talked about at halftime, and really what the kids addressed, our players addressed, was stay calm, be us, and do things, learn from our defense, make our defense the focal point, because that's how we score offensively. And then, of course, we always be confident in everything you do. Know that shot's going to go in, or know that you're going to get that defensive stop. But I would say that what I'm most proud of as far as how we got to where we're at, and hopefully that will continue, is our defensive end of the floor this year. It's definitely something that the kids have bought into and have taken great pride in their defensive effort, and I think that's a deciding factor.
Yeah, I think Elise blocks about as many shots as I've ever seen a kid do at the high school level. It's really incredible to watch, and you guys defensively obviously do very well. I've seen a lot of games that the other team maybe scores in the teens or something like that, and it's very impressive to see a team play defensively the way that you guys do. I don't know if you guys talk at all about legacy or not, but this class of the Benders, Sophie Smith has been your point guard forever. What do you want this legacy to be? Win or lose in this tournament run, what do you guys kind of hope comes out of this class? What do you want people to remember them for?
Well, they set the standard. This is going to be the standard from here on out for Anthony Wayne basketball, and they know that. And one of the other things that they hang their head on is they want to leave the program better than where they found it, and so that's their legacy.
Yeah. Jami Carter, awesome. Thank you so much. Appreciate the time. All right, that's going to do it for this edition of Chasing the Game. Be sure to check out all of our other episodes on the WTOL 11 Plus app and YouTube. We are also now on Spotify, so you can check us out there. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time.